What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie back with another video for y'all. And this video right here, we're gonna be talking about if you have Pluto in the third house. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Pluto placement, if you're a new subscriber, if you're just starting off your journey of self-love, self-knowledge, self-understanding, if you don't realize why it's so important that you have to look at yourself through astrology, study yourself through astrology, and overall love yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos, I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart or your natal chart, it's the same thing. And you realize you have Pluto in the third house, this video's for you. So without further ado, let's just get it poppin', shall we? Now you already know before I start, I'm gonna give y'all a list of some celebrities so y'all can visually see what Pluto in the third house people look like and act like in reality. So to start, we got Angelina Jolie, Martin Luther King Jr., Drake, Justin Timberlake, Elon Musk, Michael Jordan, Celine Dion, Zoe Saldana, Jessica Alba, and Fergie. Alright, so boom, Pluto in the third house. First of all, what does Pluto mean? What does Pluto represent in our birth chart? So the planet of Pluto is known as a malefic planet, meaning it has tremendous amount of power. Pluto is a very powerful planet. It is a very dark planet because it is the farthest planet away from the sun. So wherever Pluto is in your chart kind of shows you where you will go through trauma, but also where you will gain a lot of power after you have transformed yourself through the trauma, after you have looked beneath the surface, looked under the surface, to really dig deep into transforming yourself in whatever house placement it's in. And that is where you gain and control a lot of power. Also where you will have a lot of obsessive energy, obsessive nature into that kind of area in life, whatever house it's in. So we already know what third house means. Third house is communication, ruled by Gemini, ruled by Mercury, moves very fast. So third house energy is your immediate surroundings, the community, your siblings, cousins, communication, the way you speak and the way you think about information, and how you kind of garner information in your mind. So what does it mean having Pluto, the planet, the powerful malefic planet of Pluto in your third house? So start off, most likely growing up, you would have been a type to ask a lot of questions. Remember, third house energy ruled by Gemini is very curious energy. Then we have the planet of Pluto, which makes everything that it touches, makes it dominant, makes it OD, makes it obsessive, makes it more intense. So it made you have a very intense type of mind. You came into this reality with a tremendous capacity to hold a lot of information and have an intense way of using your mind, especially when it comes to gaining information and being curious about things. So most likely growing up, you would have asked your parents a lot of questions about things pertaining to your immediate environment, like why is the grass green, why are the trees this color, why is this that, why is this that, asking these really deep questions. It's not on the surface. Anything that's Pluto, anything that's Scorpio is not on the surface, very deep beneath the surface. So y'all ask really deep questions, and most likely a lot you would have been into learning about things that at your age you're not really supposed to ask about or talk about. Y'all like to dig into scorpionic things like occult knowledge, like sex, taboo, things, the darkness, things of that nature. So y'all would have been asking a lot of all these questions, and the answers you were getting, even though the person will tell you an answer, your mind already, because Pluto in the third house, their mind always wants to dissect information, always wants to dissect and investigate things, wants to dig beneath the surface. So you wouldn't really take the answer and be like, all right, that's the answer and I'm okay with it. Nah, y'all like to dig deep and go OD into the information and learning and investigating and dissecting information. So your mind, understand that how powerful your mind is when it comes to looking at things, picking it apart, investigating things, and trying to get the core information of it. So the plus of this placement is you have a tremendous capacity to gain a lot of information, to research things, to see beneath the surface, to look at someone, hear them talk to you, and you can automatically tell if they're bullshitting you or not. Y'all have a really tremendous way of actually digging deep into things like that. So now understand there's a plus and negatives to everything. The negative part about this, now remember, Pluto is a malefic planet, it's very powerful. So if you don't know how to use this power, you can easily self-destruct yourself, easily go through chaos and turmoil more than you should if you actually had control over your power, if you actually knew what was going on, if you actually had the knowledge of how to actually use and harness this power. Now the negative of this is y'all could really be OD into digging information, investigating things. Y'all could have an OD darkness in your mind a lot, and you could dwell upon it to the max, because Pluto makes everything to the max. It makes everything intense. So if you're dwelling on the dark energy, if you're dwelling on darkness, dwelling on things that happened to you in the past, dwelling on betrayal, dwelling on things too much, because remember, Mercury moves really quickly. So your mind is going to always be moving about Pluto type things, darkness type things. If you don't know how to use that energy, use that investigative energy, use that over analytical energy, y'all could be over analytical to the max. It could help you or hurt you. It could help you as in being able to, like I said, look at things, investigate things, dig deep into things, and actually gain the knowledge that you seek. Because overall, y'all seek knowledge in everything, because y'all are very curious. Y'all are extremely curious. Y'all ask a lot of questions, a lot of deep questions, not on the surface questions. So if you're using this for your good, you could be very good at, studying things, studying humans, studying taboo things, studying things in the dark. But if you're not working in the negative, if you're not working in the positive of it, you could be type to really dwell into the darkness of things. You could be type that could look at something and go down the rabbit hole, I would say, and be so deep into it and have your own thoughts and have your own beliefs. And y'all could really truly believe in it. It's like an all or nothing type thing. Anything Pluto, anything Scorpio is all or nothing. So when you have a belief system, when you believe in something, after doing your research and after being curious about it, once you believe it, that's what you believe in wholeheartedly. And that can in turn cause you into trying to influence people. I'll say influence because Pluto is power. And when you have power over someone or something, you're going to be able to influence that thing or that person. So y'all can have the power to influence people to believe in what you believe in, to influence people to have your mindset too. But if y'all don't really look into the details of things, remember, Gemini is very on the surface already. Gemini likes to do a lot of things at once, doesn't really like to master one craft. Gemini energy, I'm not saying Gemini the sign. Gemini energy doesn't like to master one craft. It likes to be a master. It likes to be a jack of all trades kind of thing. So having Pluto in the third house, having Pluto in that communicative energy, will make you become a jack of all trades, trying to get all this information different here and there, but not really pinpointing on the detail, really pinpointing on one specific thing. So when you go into something trying to get all this knowledge, different sources, different things, and not really pinpointing on one thing, you can have your conclusion, your Plutonic conclusion, which is all or nothing, based off of not really honing in on the details. So that's why I said, when you have this placement, understand the power you have in your mind, understand the power you have in your research, in your investigation, understand the power you have in learning. These people are the type that books really change your life. Like some people don't like to read. Y'all really delve deep into, especially reading books. The books really change your life, change your mind, change the way you think, change the way you view things, answer your questions. So if you can actually pinpoint on one specific thing and actually dive deep into it without trying to go on to different avenues, that Gemini-esque energy, that Mercury energy, trying to do a lot of things at once, then you'll be able to harness this energy and harness this power for your benefit. Now also understand that the third house rules your siblings, your environment, and your neighbors. And Pluto, wherever Pluto is at, Pluto will kind of bring power struggles in this area. So most likely you could have some power struggles or a low-key toxic relationship with your siblings, because your siblings look at you like, we're all in the same family. Why do you feel like you have more power over why do you feel like they have more power over me? You're looking at your sibling like, because I'm smarter than you, because I know this, because my mind is like this, or you just feel like your mind is more powerful than others, so you can low-key over-talk people, dominate the conversation, or just be too cutthroat with what you're saying. So understand that sibling rivalries might happen. You can have like problems with your neighbors, your immediate environment, because you're going to be so dominating with your mind, with the third house energy, with the way you communicate. A lot of times growing up, It could have been hard for you to express yourself fully because you realize as soon as you bring up a taboo topic, as soon as you bring up something that is actually real and deep, people around you are like, what? That's weird. What? Why are you talking about that? What? I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about celebrities. I want to talk about this. Why are you bringing up these conversations? So you feel like, all right, so I'd rather just not say nothing, keep it to myself, and just go back into my seclusion and start studying and researching things. So y'all could really have a tendency to not really express a lot. Could be kind of secretive in your communication. Y'all could be type that wants to listen, only to gain research, only to gain information on that person. So understand that the Pluto energy here is going to dominate your third house. So keep in mind your communication tactics, keep in mind your communication skills might not be A1 at first, but as you're gaining knowledge, as you're actually able to harness this energy, as you're actually able to hone in on one topic and actually gain that information through your own research, it's always going to be your own research. Y'all do not like to just take what people say for face value and be like, yeah, that's it, that's law. Y'all like to do your own research. So the more you do your own research and gain this knowledge, that is how you actually gain your power through communication. You had your power taken away through your younger years. People weren't listening to you. People were laughing at you. Why are you talking about that? Why are you believing that? And as you actually harness that power, you actually realize like, damn, I'm actually a very persuasive person. Y'all can really influence people through the way you speak, through the way you present yourself when you're talking to people, through your communication. You have a true knack for persuading and influencing people through the way you speak. Also understand that Pluto is strong and dominant, so your words could be cutthroat, can really cut deep to the core. You can look at someone and tell them something about themselves that really hits them to the core, and they're like, damn, like why you gotta be so harsh? Why you gotta be so direct? Understand that you could really be dominant in your communication style, so keep that in mind too. People around Pluto in third house people, understand that they don't like small talk. So if you're coming up to them talking about the sports, talking about celebrity, talking about superficial things, they're not going to really be into the conversation. So don't look at them like, yo, you're so weird. You don't want to talk about sports, but you're just so quiet. You're so like to yourself. What are you thinking? You're so secretive. Why are you always doing this? Understand that Pluto in third house people, their mind is so Pluto dominated. Their mind is so into going into the depths and darkness of things, going into beneath the surface of things that they're not really worried about superficial on a surface type thing. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with these people. But overall, Pluto in third house people, use your tremendous mind power to actually gain what you want through what you're thinking of, but don't go down that dark path, that dark alley of dwelling on things too much, being obsessively thinking about things that are not serving you. Now remember, Pluto moves sign every 20 years on average. So Pluto changes signs very, very slowly. So y'all could go through the slow, long journeys of going through the darkness, being in your mind, going through the rabbit hole, being very secretive about what you're talking about, not really sharing what you're thinking, being obsessively thinking about things, just like driving yourself, low-key self-destructing yourself through your mind, driving yourself crazy. But then after you realize and you get out that hump, you get out that hole, you can actually go into long periods of time of, gaining your research, sharing your knowledge, because a lot of times y'all know a lot of things that the average person doesn't really delve into, and y'all have a tremendous amount of knowledge on that topic. So when you share your knowledge, you're actually helping society, helping humanity tap into things that you know on a deep level. So y'all go through long periods of actually researching, sharing your knowledge, being able to persuade people through your speech, through your communication, being able to harness that Pluto energy in your communication style too. And all the time, most likely, it's not going to always be negative when it comes to your siblings too. If you have Pluto in the third house, you can also have the type of being very overly protective over your siblings and really watching out for them, or they could be that over you. So it doesn't have to be negative, but understand that the power struggles are going to be there with your siblings and your immediate community. So keep that in mind with this placement. Don't go down the rabbit hole of being too obsessively thinking about things that are not serving you, too obsessively thinking about the darkness. At the same time, understand how powerful your investigative skills are. Understand how powerful your mind is. Understand how powerful when it comes to you reading things and learning about things and getting information and picking things apart, how powerful that is, and use that to your advantage in this lifetime. Put yourself in situations that will help you harness that energy. Going into investigation, learning about taboo things, learning about psychology of humans, astrology, things like that. Put yourself in those kind of categories, learn about it, and then share your knowledge with people. You'll be surprised that when you're speaking and you're sharing what you know, how much influence, how much persuasion you will gain through what you have in your mind. Very obsessive, but very powerful mind y'all have with Pluto in the third house. So that's my video on Pluto in the third house. Hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on Pluto in the fourth house, and you already know I'm about to go in. If y'all subscribe to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real, you already know. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, handle that one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy, Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm going to see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.